It's time for our daily dose of Cope, and we have Masha Katznipp back at the correspondence desk for the Leopards News Network. There are so many stories to get to, so many things to talk about. Let's jump into it. We all love these, how it started, how it's going, so let's start there. So More Motivation titled this one, A Black Guy Was Elected President Twice, and Their Brains Were Permanently Broken Since. So this MAGA influencer, Cat Turd, is talking about Obama here saying, go back to your mansion. Nobody cares what you think. And to that, at the bottom, maybe it's Pretty Jean or Pretty Jeannie says, we are so done. We will be the ones to lock in. America is back, baby. You Democrats all need to leave to Canada in the Middle East. All right, so she said that on December 7th. Now, March 29th, this is Pretty Jean saying, Dear Don, I've never wavered in support of you in spite of all the headlines. Can you please concentrate on the dangerous immigrants, not the ones who've been living as law-abiding citizens? Can we please help these people naturalize as citizens instead of deporting? So that's March 29th. And then we got October 3rd for these next two messages. So this one in the middle says, I'm a Republican. I've always been a Trump supporter, but I'm also self-employed. And without the subsidies, I'll have no insurance. And then up here, she's tagging Donald Trump, VP, Eric Trump of all people, Speaker Johnson, and Senator Schumer. All right, she says, President Trump, we voted for you 3 different times. We're big supporters, but we're also self-employed, and we depend on the subsidies to be able to afford the healthcare marketplace insurance. Without it, we would have no insurance at all. Please help. You voted in a person that had concepts of a plan. He's been trying to gut this since he got in, and now they have been successful with this one big beautiful BS of a bill. The Democrats are trying to roll back what they have erased in that one big beautiful bill. But you are a Republican. You would still vote for this man again, even if you have no insurance. So this is what you people get to deal with. On June 7th, this person at the top, his name is Mustang Man Texas, says, Dear federal government employees, you are not our boss. In fact, you work for us. If we could, we would fire almost all of you. You are a disgrace. I have no idea what this is in reference to, but whatever. But this person down here, Texas athlete, says, we can fire them. We just need Americans to get off our butts and meet the patriots running for office. There are hundreds in every county, and they need our help. So he says we can fire them. That's June 7th. He is gunning to fire folks. So that was how it started. Now, how it's going. Now, right here, he's actually responding to Elon Musk. So let's pull up the Elon Musk tweet first. Back on September 4th, Elon Musk says, please reply to this post with any difficulties you may have had in trying to buy a Tesla. Our goal is for the purchase and delivery experience to be fast and simple with accurate answers to your questions. The key test is that you would recommend it to a friend. So that's Elon Musk on September 4th. Now we have Texas athlete responding. I'm having trouble purchasing a Tesla because the wealthiest guy in America and the sitting POTUS are increasing H-1B visas. I haven't had a paycheck since last November, and I can't afford the property taxes on my home because I was fired for being over 50. I can't find a job because I'm not Indian. Tell me how this is America first and you're defending the middle class. They always have to have a scapegoat. This is a white man in America, and they have to, if it's not black people, if it's not women, if it's not the gays, now it's Indian folks. And he's acting like H-1B visas are taking up a big proportion of the jobs that are out there. These people, these dudes are such victims in a country based on or built on racism and sexism. A white man can't get a job. That is rich to me. This dude right here, this streamer, this podcaster, he's having regrets about jumping into politics. It says streamer Aiden Ross is having second thoughts about his time in politics. On a recent stream, Ross reflected on his involvement with Trump during the last campaign cycle, saying he now regrets tying himself so closely to a political figure. Now that I look back on it, I really, really wish I never got into politics, Ross told viewers. So many people just tie me to it no matter what. They don't even get to know who I am. I don't think I'll ever care enough again for any other politician. At the end of the day, we're all human. That stuff is just way out of pocket. Ross admitted that his association with Trump has followed him everywhere, from gifting Trump a Tesla to featuring him on his platform. Ross says it's left people unwilling to see past that political chapter. And I wouldn't either, because these male podcasters helped Donald Trump win the young men vote. I will never forgive them. And I hope that it follows them for decades, because they deserve it. And it's going to take decades to clean up all of the mess. It's not about them not being human. It's the fact that they have broken America so bad. And the podcasters, the streamers, these men were part of it. Now, that is a perfect segue to this post from NBC News. This quote says, "I believe my trust in the administration has completely nosedived." It says Trump's victory last year was fueled in part by improvement among young voters, especially young men. But new focus groups reveal why some who back Trump are beginning to sour on his administration's approach to immigration and the economy. So that's from NBC News. I do have an article that backs this up. It's not NBC, but it's based on the NBC poll. So this article is actually from the Daily Beast. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Several young voters who backed Donald Trump in the last election have revealed why their support for the president has plummeted. A total of 14 Trump supporters under the age of 30 took part in NBC News' Deciders series, which examines the views of voters in the 2024 election. Of these 14 participants, 8 independents and 6 Republicans. 9 said they disapproved of Trump's overall job performance so far, while 5 approved. "I believe my trust in the administration has completely nosedived because of how he's mishandling things," said Anthony H., a 22-year-old Republican from Nevada, who now regrets his vote. He cited Trump's handling of immigration and foreign affairs for the decline of his support for the president. Ooh, I remember this picture, Liberation Day. Liberating all of us from extra cash. You gotta love it. All right, Sean N., a 23-year-old independent from Pennsylvania, also pointed to Trump's hardline immigration approach as a reason for his disapproval after the president's return to the White House. "I have not been agreeing with just taking a bunch of immigrants, and even if they are innocent, and throwing them back to God knows where," Sean said. Trump's rise in support among young voters was one of the key reasons for his sweeping 2024 victory over former VP Kamala Harris. He won 43% of voters aged 18 to 29 last November, a 9-point rise from 2020, according to an NBC News exit polls. Trump also secured 49% of males in this age group, compared to 48% for Harris. Now, obviously, 49% and 48% are not that big. That's not that wide of a chasm, but still, they talk about it like it was a big sweeping victory. But as Trump's second term enters its 10th month, young voters have cited his sweeping tariff plans, mass deportation push, and fallout over the Jeffrey Epstein saga as reason their support for the 79-year-old is waning. "The tariffs have been a little counterintuitive," said Elizabeth M., a 25-year-old Arizona independent whose husband, a car salesman, has been affected by the rise in prices for car parts. "I believe with the reasoning behind them. I do think that something has to be done to compete with the other countries. I think it just should have been affecting maybe the big businesses versus us as consumers being affected by it. Because these dumb McGrums didn't look at what tariffs do, despite the fact that we kept on trying to..." I feel like transparency as well is an issue, not just with tariffs, but also feeling like he switched positions when talking about the Epstein file. He's a liar. He didn't switch position. He lied because he's a liar. From saying it's a huge deal to saying, "Oh, it's not really a big deal," added Richard B., a 22-year-old from Pennsylvania. Richard said that while it's not a bad thing for the president to make immigration one of his main focus, Trump also needs to recognize that people are struggling more and more, and not just housing, but also the state of living itself. All right, this part right here. Still, despite 9 young voters voicing disapproval of Trump's performance, only 1 said they would vote for Harris in 2024 if given the chance for a do-over. That's the reason why I have no F's to give for these people struggling, because they would do it again if they had the opportunity. In September, the New York Times also spoke to a group of young and disillusioned Trump voters who now regret their decision. Mustafa, a 28-year-old from Georgia, said he now feels Trump is acting as a dictator, while 32-year-old independent Kelsey described Trump's mass deportation plans as way too aggressive. So that is where they are. They would totally do it again. Only 1 would change. These people and this is the reason why I will continue to say, these people have to feel this for 3 to 7 years, because otherwise they will keep on voting Republican. So they deserve this for a little while longer. 3 to 7 years. It's going to take them losing their house. It's going to take them losing their jobs. It's going to take them losing their businesses. It's going to take all of that before they start thinking maybe the Republicans want to keep stripping us of everything. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
No, listen, we love Americans. You're like the slow cousins we only ever see at weddings. But listen, buddy, we will never be your 51st state. Never. It's not that we don't appreciate everything you've done for the world. Cheese that shoots out of a can, that probably wasn't easy. Corn syrup and bread, whatever. Reality TV stars running your country, like, you do you, okay? Like, we're not mad. We're not mad. We're just done. It's over. You gotta stop texting. We like our country the way it is. Our kids dodge homework here, not live rounds. Our culture wars are about whether pulled pork belongs on poutine, and by the way, it does not, so stop doing that. We're pretty protective of what we got up here. And despite what Chairman Trump says, our military is pretty good. Fun fact, we train your military. You might remember that time in the 1800s when we burned your White House to the ground. And now bear with me as I speak in Canadian so my country folk will understand. Chirpin Hosers got stuffed so hard the head knob cheese there wouldn't smucker the back end of a toonie, so we load the Skookum Zamboni with some butte, start the Coquihalla, cross the Peter Mans Bridge, and cheeseball those douche canoes with enough KD to clog the I-5. Those are military commands, by the way. Watch your back. We march on Seattle in the morning, moose up front, Mounties in the back. At 0600, we roll in with butter tarts and Nanaimo bars. You better have your manners ready.